Okay, so today we are going to look at Sine Rule, which is a rule which finds sides or angles in non-right angled triangles. Now, the whole rule is this sort of ratio, which is A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. Now, we can't really use that with three parts, so instead, what we do is we just use one section. Now, you can choose to use A and C or B and C, but I instead choose to just use A and B and just always label my triangle with A's and B's next to each other. Now, from what we've learnt about labeling before, A and A, so lowercase a and uppercase A, are going to always be the opposite side to the angle. So we need to remember that. So we only use a section A and B, and then we can label this information so that we're only going to use A and B, as I said. So that means this rule can use, and we're going to make a big table of this later on, but this rule can use, if you get given two sides and one angle, then you can find one angle. And if you get given one side and two angles, then you can find one side. This sort of table really helps us to be able to work out which rule to use once we know a couple of different rules, and which rule we need to use to be able to find out what we're trying to find. So I'm going to give you an example, and then after that, I'll give you some steps. So this example here is of a non-right angled triangle. What we want to do is we want to label whatever we're trying to find as A. So whether it be an angle or a side, I've already done that here. So I'm going to label this side as A, and therefore the opposite angle is A as well, uppercase A. So then the other pair we're going to label as B. And that way, we only need to use one section of our formula. So we then do our working out. So A over sine A equals B over sine B. So therefore we then sub in our numbers. A, we don't know, over sine 60 equals B, which is 8, over sine 50. Now, we can put that straight into our calculator, or if you had, and solve, or we could rearrange it. So we could just go straight to solve here if we wish to. However, I'm just going to quickly show you how to rearrange it because I think that's good skill to know, and it's part of the syllabus. But you could put that straight into your calculator, and that's what we'll do in a second. But if we want to show you the full working out, we then can cross multiply this, so we'd end up with A sine 50 equals 8 sine 60, and then to get A by itself, we end up with A equals 8 sine 60 over sine 50. Now we need to use our calculator. So let's have a look at your calculator. So once we've got this, I find the easiest thing to be able to do is actually look at use our little template. So I'm going to write in solve first. So I'm going to go menu, algebra, solve. And then I'm going to use this little button here to get our fraction. So you can see where it's red, get a fraction in there. And I'm going to do that first line. So I'm going to go A sine. So we go to trig and click on sine. Oh, possibly sine. Oh, let's see if we can get rid of that. Okay, that seems to be better. Okay, I'm going to go A sine 60 and then go equals. Oh, I've lost it. Okay, let's try that again. All right, open bracket, solve, fraction, A over sine. This is not liking me. I think it's because my keyboard's there. Let's try this again. Oh. All right, let's try try. All right, solve. Put in the fraction. A sine 60 equals fraction 8 over sine 50. And now we're solving for A, so we need to go comma A. And when we solve that, it might come up with a different term. We just want to make sure we change it. So Control Enter should give us our decimal answer there. If you want to change that, you can go up to your settings, handhold setup, and change it if you wish to. So we've got our answer as 9.04413. Now, the other way of doing it is to put in what we had before, which was, so instead of having the whole thing, we go fraction. So this is the bottom of our working out. 8 times sine 60 over sine 50. And then again will give us that same number. So either way is fine. So our answer is 9.04 to 2 decimal places. So we put that into our answer. And we write A equals 9.04 centimetres, given that's what our measurement is. And that's our answer. So now we've found a side, given 2 angles and a side. Okay, so that's all we have to do. This is for finding a side. Okay, and so our steps are: label what you are trying to find as A or A. That's the most important step, because otherwise this formula is not going to work for you. Label the other side or angle pair should be labelled as B and B. Sub into your formula and solve. Okay, that's all you need to be able to do for finding a side. We have to rearrange a little bit differently for an angle, but we'll do that later on. So if we have a look at the next one, let's try another example. For this one, if we label what we're trying to find as A, we're going to find a problem straight away. We're going to go, okay, this one is, if this one's A, therefore we need to know this angle. But you can work that angle out very easily, because 3 angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. And so this is 78 degrees. So that's A and A. Now we need to be able to know which angle to use as B. So we go to the side we have, and the opposite side therefore is here. So we've got B there. Once we've got that, it's quite easy. We can then just go A over sine A equals B over sine B, which is X over sine 78 equals 8 over sine 40. We can then put that into solve in our calculator. So solve, open bracket, fraction, X over sine 78 equals fraction 8 over sine 40. And we're trying to find X. And again, Control Enter will give us a decimal answer. And your answer is 12.17 centimetres. So X equals 12.17 centimetres. We'll continue with how to find the angle in the next video.